How's it going, everyone? I've recently become a coach with Youre throwing, and because of this, I'm going to be analyzing a lot of replays in the future. I had the idea to record them as individual videos and upload them to YouTube with the player's consent, so here we are with this first ever replay analysis video. I would love to do more of them in the future, but it all depends on your support, so if you like the idea and would watch these, then a like on the video would be very appreciated. The first of this series will be a Platinum 1 player who has chosen to go anonymous, so let's get right into the analysis. Alright, we are here in the replay. So in this game we played a casual game of 2v2 with our anonymous player here, and I have not viewed this replay yet at all, but basically what I did in this game was I tried to put my teammate in a bunch of really awkward situations to just simulate what it would be like to have a solo queue teammate. So we were not in comms, so he doesn't know what I'm doing, and I played a little bit differently than you would expect. I made some poor decisions, some good decisions, made pretty regular rotations. Sometimes I cut in front of him, just try to make it a little bit awkward so that we could analyze what he is doing, or what he should be doing in situations like that are kind of difficult in case he makes any mistakes. But without further ado, let's get right into this. So I'm going to be watching this from his perspective to start out. So let's see. Alright, right off the bat, that's totally fine to go for this boost. That's what you should be doing, but you could get there a little bit faster if you front flip towards this boost. If you even do like a side flip while boosting, or you use all your boost and then front flip, you'll still get there just a little bit faster and put you in a little bit better position to turn. But it's not a big deal. Good decision to go for this. What I would do here is, let's go to fly. In this situation, you've grabbed the boost. You're easily first to this ball. Or, never mind, sorry. I saw that a little bit differently than it actually was. You can definitely get a good 50 here, but if you jump a little bit earlier, like for example, if you jump right here, and then try to flip into the ball on the top of it, then you're going to be getting a lot more power and really doing better in the 50. But instead, you jump and you flip forward, which means that if we go right here, once you go for the 50, if you had already jumped, then you'd be hitting the ball like right about here and completely destroying him in the 50, launching it downfield. But because you've waited a little bit longer and then tried to go for a low 50 here, even though you had all that time, you end up hitting the ball first, but your car is not really doing a whole lot. So the ball goes straight up. It's not a big deal, not necessarily a worst case scenario by any means, but it definitely could have done a little bit. You could have done a little bit better with that 50. So let's go back to full speed and resume. So that's fine. Good decision. Way to get in front for the pass there. That's a good hit as well. I would recommend using your boost here. You used your boost to go a little bit to the side. Wasn't really necessary. If you just point your car down and boost downward, a quick recovery is always better in that situation. Good boost grab. I like your positioning here. Again, that's a solid hit. Good leave for me. I like your patience. Alright. Yeah, that was a good goal. I mean, obviously that's just a open net miss, which isn't great, so that wasn't a goal. But what you did here, I like you leaving that for me. You could have gone there if I was playing passive, but as you can see, you take a quick look, see that I'm back, or see that I'm boosting towards the ball, rather, see that I'm like in position to boost for the ball, and you leave it for me. That's a good decision. Again, good job not diving in there because that guy has it, Ecliptic has it. And then that should be a goal. That's just a mechanical error. I don't know if there's a whole lot that you should have done differently going for this ball. Yeah, I mean it's just a miss hit. There's not really anything else to say there. Maybe just trying to get a little bit better at those by just hitting the ball around in free play, trying to score tricky angles. I don't know if there's any specific training packs for shots like this, but it's all good. That happens. You kind of wait a little bit there on the slow recovery. You kind of just want to move on in a game. You miss the open net, it's whatever, just keep on moving. You always want to recover as quickly as you can. That's another bit of an awkward miss here. I like how you picked up the pads. You want to always be looking at, if you go to free play, you can see these patterns of boost pads all around the field. One of the patterns is this lane right here, these boost lanes going right down the middle of the field. Then you have a few more. You have this one going around the outside, and then you have the middle boost lane, but that was a good job following the boost lane on the outside as well in your recovery. Getting a few, that gets you that extra boost. And then again, this is something that I'm actually noticing, is that you are jumping and then you're using your flip a little bit too early. So right now you jump right there, which is great, but then you're boosting forwards and like trying to hit the ball fast. Like you're trying to get to the ball as fast as possible. That isn't necessarily needed. If you just single jump up and you hold it and you get yourself up and high so that you can hit that ball on the wall, and then you flip right when you're hitting the ball. I didn't mean to keep on moving this backwards. If you try to, yeah, you're flipping forwards. I don't know. There's the thing about that is that you just want to try to jump high, just flip straight into the ball. You're just going a little bit low there. It's just a misread, but if you work on that a little bit more, then that wouldn't be a goal. If you're able to just work on reading those balls and timing your flip right as well. Again, free play can just really help you out with those reads. It's a good kickoff. Let's take a look at that one more time. I wasn't really paying enough attention. Yeah, it's a solid kickoff. Good win. You could have followed this. It's not necessarily a problem that you didn't, but the other guy, well, you can't even see him. I would take a look at him a little bit more, see what he's doing. It's all good. He turned back. In this case, it's a good decision to go for boost. I would half flip a little bit earlier here. Driving backwards does not help you. Just half flip right now, get into position so that you can turn and maybe hit that on the wall again, but it's whatever. And then again, right here, you just put yourself in a more awkward position than you need to. You can just half flip super early, get on the wall, and maybe even be first to ball or turn back towards the ground because you're driving forward, and you're just in a much better position if you get that off as soon as possible. They're just flipping too early. I don't know exactly what happened here, but that's a great 50. You can just slow down. You want to go fast, but you don't want to go like as fast as I think that you are assuming that you need to go. You just want to jump up. You can even double jump. I don't know if you do double jump aerials. I think I saw you do one earlier, but in this case, just a simple double jump aerial. You can hit that, and there you go. You missed the boost there. That's just a little bit unlucky. Just driving over here, missing the boost. It's not the end of the world though necessarily. You don't need that boost. It's fine though. You got it. You did a 47 boost. Good patience. That's a good hit. Way to let me do that. Take care of it. I would, again, when you're driving back in a situation like this, try to always get on the boost lanes. You want to try to remember that, because if I go back into fly and I take a look, remember our boost lanes are, there's one going like this, all those boost pads. There's one going directly in the middle. We have some boost pads over here. You could follow little paths like this, cutting into the boost lanes. But instead, what you end up doing here is just driving kind of in the middle of everything, missing all the boost, and that puts you in a pretty awkward spot. So if we go back to your perspective here, you could have been easily at 100 boost. 57 isn't bad, but if you'd just driven in the center of the field, you'd be at 100 there, no problem. That's a good decision to go fast. There, I mean, jumping off of the wall backwards, it's fine. It's a recovery. Personally, what I would have done here is just kept on driving and turned so that you would still have momentum and maybe have a chance at challenging and putting pressure, but that's all good. That's just an unlucky decision. You didn't really have any boost here. Once you've used all your boost, there's really no sense in trying to go for that anymore. I think you just missed calculated how much boost you had, which kind of leaves me in an awkward spot, but I ended up trying to pass this to you. I got a bit too much on it. This is a good decision to go for that boost. I'm not really sure why you jumped though. And again, going for the wave dash there isn't really necessary. It just puts you in a bit of an awkward spot. It would have maybe worked if you had gotten it perfect, but that might just be a mechanic that you want to work on a little bit. That, I don't really like this decision as much. If you go back here and you have all the time in the world. If you look at Snaggletooth, he's turned back. Ecliptic is in the air. So when you're turning back here, you have nobody who's challenging you at all. I'm down the field, you have all the time in the world. So what I would do here is I would just take your time, wait. If I go to fly one more time, what I would do is, let's just go back a little bit. Alright, so in this case, you're right here, the ball's coming towards you. I would just turn, wait a little bit farther back because you have so much time, and then wait for the ball to land, and then you can get a nice half volley here, which is pretty much the most powerful hit that you can get in the game. So right when it bounces, you hit it directly off of the ground and boom it forward, and that could be a goal straight up because they don't really have anybody in net. But instead, you try to go for this a little bit earlier than you needed to. Again, if we just zoom back a little bit, yeah, you just go for this ball sooner than you really need to, and then mishit it as well off to the side. So this didn't put you in a horrible position, but it could have been a goal if you had just taken a little bit more time. Good read on both of our misses. That's a solid hit. I mean, you can again work on hitting those on the half volley towards net. Again, if we go back here, just wait for the bounce, perfect, and then try to hit it with the corner of your card towards net. That might be a little bit of a miss hit. That's no problem. Again, just working on free play. Just at this rank, just spending so much time in free play will really help perfect all of your ball controlling skills and stuff. And something else is that playing a lot of 1v1 can really help you out there as well with clinicality. But it's a good 50. Something that I always say for 50s is try to hit the ball directly in the middle. So right here, you basically, that's a little bit of a mistouch, I think. That's not really what you're going for. You got to find recovery. Now you just want to hit the ball directly on the opposite part of where your opponent is. So if you look at this, your opponent is hitting the ball backwards. So this is a bit of an awkward spot for them, but they're going to be hitting the ball on the right side of it. They don't really have a great 50. They're going backwards and they're hitting it from this side. So if you also hit it from that side, then the ball is just getting pinched out. But if you're able to come in and connect from this side on the exact opposite part of it, on the exact opposite part of the ball, and you come in like this with a full flip, like you make decent contact here, but you're just on the wrong part of the ball. If you came in right here on the left side of the ball, or sorry, on the right side of the ball, with this 50, then you would 100% just be completely 50ing that straight into their net, because there's actually quite a big angle there for this 50 to just go right into the side of the net if you win it. But again, working on 50s is something that you can get better at with time. Like I said, what I always say is just aiming directly on the opposite side of the ball from the opponent. So if the opponent is going from the middle of the ball, then you want to hit the middle of the ball. If they're going from the right side, you want to go on the left side, but maybe a tiny bit more towards the middle, because then you'll be getting better contact with the ball, and you will definitely be winning the 50. But again, let's take a look at what you do here. That's just a miss hit. Again, you have all the time in the world here. You have so much time. Let's just look at where your opponents are. This guy is just chilling a goal. He's facing his goal. His positioning makes no sense at all here. This guy is flying in the air off at the wall. You could literally just drive over here, catch this on the side of your car, dribble forwards, you're in a one-on-one, because that other guy is falling down. If you just caught this then you could already be right about here at this time, and then you have a shot. But instead, what you end up doing is going way faster than you need to, trying to go for a hit against the wall, which wouldn't even really help you that much because that results in the ball ending up over here where I am back here. I can't really help, and just gives away possession. And either way you miss it. I take control, and let's head back over to you. I mean, it's fine to go for this boost. What I would do, you kind of stay on car cam a little bit too long here. You know where the boost is, you're on target with it, you can just drive straight. I would switch back to ball cam once you know that, because for all you know, they could have beaten me to the ball. You can't see what's happening over here. I am going for this right now, but I could have mistouched it over here. Not Snaggletooth could have had a shot, and the ball could be going towards your goal by the time that you've reached this boost. And it could already be halfway here, and you would have no clue at all. So it's just always a good idea to be in ball cam as soon as you know where that boost is. But I end up getting a hit downfield. You're a bit farther back, which is, it's fine. This is a good center. So, alright, that was actually a really good bump, but I could be wrong here. But I don't think that that's what you were going for. I think that you were going for another shot there, and then you just switched to car cam, and it happened to bump him. So, this, I could be totally wrong here. If that's an intentional bump, then well played. That's really, really impressive. But what I think happens here is that you go for another touch, but what are you trying to accomplish here? Like, realistically, if it's always tempting to go for these like crazy freestyle-esque shots, but there's no way that you're going to be scoring a Doomsy Dish here. And it's already going to the center. There's really not a whole lot that you can do here to make it a better pass once you've gotten this touch right here. So what I would do is the instant that you get this touch, this final touch up on the corner of the wall, is basically you get this touch right here. You should turn back away and just turn, go down here and out. You can follow even this little boost pad line. So you go down the wall, come over here, you get this pad, you get this pad, then you're sitting with at least around 25 boost, which is enough to get a decent shot from pretty much anywhere. If this ball goes back into the center, and then pretty much regardless of what happens here, you're prepared. So instead, you go for that bump, which turns out to be fine, but now you're a little bit out of position, and it's a little bit awkward. If you had just gone down here, then you would have been already back over here with considerably more boost ready to help defend this. Instead, me and you are now in the same position. So it works. You didn't really get punished for it this time, but it's not really what you want to be doing in that situation. So get the center, bump him. You have a little bit of an awkward recovery. That's, I mean, something that you always want to focus on is your recovery. The first thing that you learn to do with aerial should be positioning your car so that you can land on all four wheels, because that is definitely the most valuable thing to learn with aerial right when you're starting out, because recoveries are the most important thing when you're on offense and you lose the ball. Because if you don't have a good recovery, if you just end up somehow in their goal on your back, then it's a goal for them almost every time. Move back here, get the boost, that's totally fine. Let's see. Yeah, the thing about this, what I would do is I would grab this boost, try to turn around maybe with a drift. Maybe what you want to do is just go over here, just drift turn, and then just pop it over them, which has already beaten the first guy. Instead, you go for this backwards hit, which, I mean, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but you don't end up beating him. If you're getting that backwards hit, it just makes everything awkward, and you end up getting demoed as well. So you don't really want to be going for those hits backwards at all. What I would try to do here, grab the boost, quickly turn right now, drift turn. You can pull it off in time by just doing a little turn right here, and then you're like this, and then you can just hit it first. Don't flip into it, just regular hit it, pop it over this first guy, and then you might even beat the second guy here, but regardless, you've definitely bought some time. And pretty much no matter what happens, it's better than this result, which is where you get demoed, and it's a pass to Ecliptic here. But let's see here. Good job picking up that boost. Following those boost lanes is pretty essential. That's well done. You spawn here, pick up that boost pad, that boost pad, that boost pad. There you go. That's perfect. You missed that one, but that's all good. You have good boost. I like picking up that boost lane. So this guy's a little bit of an air dribble chance. I mean, air dribbles are a tricky thing to defend against, especially at you're in Plat 1, so you don't really see them a whole lot, but when they do, they don't often work out. But if this guy did get out on target, then that would be a goal because you haven't even jumped. But I mean, I guess it's a good read to see that it's going over. Something that you can do is if you want to go up super fast, the best way to block air dribbles like this is to just assume that it's going to go in, even if you don't think it is. So right now, just double jump and cover the top of the goal. At least that's what you should be doing in Platinum, because if he somehow does manage to get this shot on, most likely all that he's going to be doing is just getting a hit so that it's going to be going right about here, right into the top of the net, maybe bar down. So if you're jumped up and you're positioned right here, then at the time that the ball reaches you, then that goal is not going to happen no matter what. And what's better is that if you're able to hit it just a little bit off to the side as well, then that's even better. Because if you're positioned right here and the ball bounces off the top and you're just outside the goal, then that ball is actually going to hit you and maybe go off to the side if you position your car to just maybe hit the right side of, if you position yourself so that it hits the right side of your car. But it's, again, none of these mistakes have been like catastrophic, or not many of them that I remember. So that isn't the worst thing in the world. He missed. Now you have a chance here, and now you just throw it away by rushing a little bit there. So I mean no offense by this. This is just me critiquing what I think you should have done. You went here, you jumped early again. Right here, this guy's literally turtling. The first guy is turtling over here. He's just missed. We know that he's just missed. If this guy is able to beat you to that ball, then he is hacking, which I've never seen in Rocket League. So you got to assume that basically once you see this guy, he's coming off the air dribble. There's no way that he's going to be hitting this. No way at all. This guy is way out of the play. So all that you need to do is just either control this by just boosting under the ball. Let's just wait for this to bounce. So all that you need to do is just boost under the ball, control this. If not, that's fine. You can even let it bounce maybe. Nobody's reaching this ball. They're both trying to get to it, and neither of them have gotten to it before it's bounced a second time. But you can even let it bounce this first time, then jump right here and hit it on the half volley. So if we go back, you wait for this ball to bounce. This might be a little bit slow, but we wait for it to bounce. You jumped a little bit early. You jump right now so that you're in the air, and then you flip into the ball right here. You use your flip right when you hit the ball so that you're getting all of your momentum into the ball. So something else that you're doing here is you're flipping a little bit early. It kind of takes you out of the play. Your jump was not the worst thing in the world. You could have still hit it, but because you flipped instantly and we're using boost and we're like all panicking, it just threw away the chance. So if you jump here, you wait, you boost a little bit, and then you flip into the ball, you're going to get a lot more power on that. But instead of you just rushed it, completely whiffed the ball and lost the chance. It's not horrible though, because again, this is a really, really slow play. They're not catching up to this ball anytime soon, so I'm able to just turn, recover, and get a 50. This is in a little bit of a dangerous position. So let's go back to your perspective for this little play. Alright, I went a little bit too far back. I mean, this works. You have time, it works, it does the job. I think that you've maybe just turned a little bit too far. What I would do in that situation is just assume that this is going into a dangerous position. Let's see, let's put it on fly. Assume that this is going into a dangerous position. This is going to bounce directly middle. So what you want to do is you want to be careful of the goal. So you want to basically just follow this. Maybe what I would do is I would go back here, grab this boost, turn, see what your options are, because then you would be able to take a lot of time here, maybe hit it on the half volley. If you don't hit it there, then you get to control it. You go quickly though, you almost mess it up because you've gone a little bit faster than you needed to. You have to reverse, which is almost never a good idea, and you're barely able to get a touch. It works out in the end, but you've just made everything more awkward, and then you get demoed. Getting demoed there, there's not a whole lot that you can do. You just kind of got sideswiped. At least you got the boost. A little bit of hesitation there. If you take a look at this play, starting right here, the ball is going up the wall. If you had just gone forward right here, not saying that this is the best option, but just saying hypothetically, you're going here, the ball is going really fast. By the time that the ball has reached right about here, you can already be halfway up the wall and able to volley it. By the time that the ball has reached it, the ball is going faster than the player just about, or rather they're going at like a similar speed. So you are going to be first of this ball every time. So if you've gone really fast, then you would have already hit this ball if you had just gone up the wall, and then it would be on their side. But instead of going fast, you just sit there and wait. So I would say what you could do is either, like I just showed you, you could just go for the ball and you're first there every time. Or what you could do is you've spawned, you can turn back towards goal, get ready for a potential shot, and wait on the backboard. So if you've already turned a little bit sooner than this, basically you see him, he hits the ball, you're like, oh, that's a scary wall shot. Right there is the hesitation. You can actually almost see it. You actually make a little movement. You start to turn, you're going this way, you start to turn to the wall, like trying to make a decision, and then you change your mind, and then you just can't decide, and you turn back, and then you're frozen, and now you're in a really awkward spot, because at this point, he will beat you to the ball, and you are a little bit too late to turn around and still be in a good position, and you're still hesitating, you're still going back and forth. So just being decisive in that situation, it's difficult. It's really difficult, but if you just decide, I'm going to go for this, then you can at least put pressure on it, and you can definitely beat him. Or if you don't want to go for it, then just turn back. Because if you decide to not go for this, then he hits it on the wall. At this point, you are already going to be back here by the goal. So when this ball gets boomed downfield, you might actually be able to go up onto the wall and hit it. You try to do that, but if you've made it a little bit awkward on yourself because you're so far behind the play. If you had turned back sooner, then you'd be like a good, right about here, you would already be up on the wall and ready to block this hit. So what happened. You slowed it down a little bit too much, I think, and you hesitated, and then he gets the hit. So now what you need to do, you aren't going to be hitting this pretty much in any situation. Let's see this from your perspective. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult hit. You decide to go for it. It's just an awkward situation. Let's see where I was. You see me going for it, you see me miss, you want to go for it as well, you can't really tell what's happening. If you can read that, it's off, then that's great. You want to just try to be paying attention to the ball. But realistically, you've just put yourself in a really awkward situation and tried to clean it up, but it's not really worked out very well. So if you just avoid that hesitation, then you're totally set. So let's see. Missing that boost there is not great. Again, always try to pay attention to the boost pads. If you're going to be killing time and not really doing anything, just waiting for them, then you want to be collecting boosts. You want to go for this boost pad, maybe this one, turn around, get all this, because you do have enough time for that. You just go up on the wall, you do a little circle, you wait. In that time, you could have gone over here, done a little circle over here, and then had 48 more boost than what result than the amount of boost that you already had. So let's take a look at your boost as well. Yeah, you're only at 12 boost, so you've put yourself in a really awkward position by, again, just turning up the wall, deciding you can't, turning back down. If you just go for boost, you just kill time, then you're fine there. It's a good hesitation there. Again, that's just aerial mistake. I think you're overthinking this a little bit. You can just wait, jump right here, and then flip into it, and you're fine. Or you can just turn and do this single jump where you try to hit it pretty quickly. You can wait and aim it a little bit more to the left instead of what you did here, instead of just double jumping to the right of the ball. So if you take a look at this, let's go back to fly really quickly. I don't want to do this for too much, but yeah, you just double jump here. If you just wait, single jump, and make contact right here, you get a good 50, you flip into it, and this guy completely missed, so you might actually just score that because it's a super open net. Just a double jump there is, you've just made everything a little bit more awkward on yourself by just panicking a little bit instead of staying calm. Even under pressure, even when somebody's shooting at you, that's when you need to actually be the most calm. Because if you just panic and you're like, oh no, he's shooting, I need to block it, then you just make mistakes and it completely fails on you. But if you realize, alright, he's shooting super fast, so I need to pre-jump to save this, or alright, he's a little bit slower back, or he's a little bit farther back than I am to this ball, so I can get myself into a good position and go for a 50, or maybe even beat him altogether. You can't beat him altogether in this case, but you could have gone for 50, which would have put you in a much better spot. So just picking up some pads, I pass this over. Actually, let's take a look at this movement. Again, it's you need to be always looking out for these boost lanes. Immediately what you want to do here is turn into a boost lane, pick up some pads. You try to do that, but you've gotten 12 boost and then I don't even know what you've used it on. You over here, you pick up 12 boost and then you use it while you turn and it doesn't even give you that much more speed. You're just using the boost right away. You could do a simple front flip and you will save so much more boost. If you look at the boost lanes, once again, you overcommit and then you just weave through all the boost. What you could do here instead is you overcommit, then you go here to this boost pad, over here, this one, and then over here, and then over here, and then turn and boost forward, pick up this pad, and you're there for the pass with like 20 or 30 more boost. Or you could follow the lane on the outside and wait, or you could just cut in, just grab, let's see, just waiting for you to get here, or what you could do is you could just turn, grab this boost pad and then just go in and straight up here, grab this pad, and you're already just grabbing the boost pads and flipping puts you in a much better position. But let's get through this replay. I don't want to drag this out for too long here because some of the things that I'm saying are getting a little bit redundant. This just could have been better. You had a little bit more time again. Just taking that time is always good when you can. It might look a little bit like rushed here, but that guy is gone. He's missing the ball. He's past the play. This guy is nowhere close to challenging you. What you can do here is, let's take a look just to make sure that this is realistic. Yeah, just take your time, control this. You're already in a good position to. If you don't flip here, if you just wait and take your time, catch this on the side of your car, turn in a little bit, then you, just like that, you've turned in, you're right here, you put yourself into a perfect position to go shoot at far post, and that's a goal. Or you could maybe even go for mind game, do a little bit of a fake like you're shooting far post, and then shoot it behind him. You have so many options there if you just control it, and again, you put yourself in a 1-on-1 and it could be a goal. Grab the boost. I mean, that's a fine 50, that works out great. I like your positioning here. It's a little bit of hesitation, it's fine. It puts you in a good spot to finish that, and then, yeah, the aerial car control just lets you down a little bit here. You just run out of boost a little bit too soon, and that's why you end up missing that shot. Paying attention to your boost level is something to be aware of there. It's just a miscalculation with your boost. Something that you can do if you really want to try to work on your aerial car controls during the first part of the ultimate warm-up, which is a pretty popular training pack. You can just find it in Browse, and the entire first part of that is all just pretty high aerials and things that you have to read, and it will really help you out. I use that actually as a warm-up myself sometimes. So you can just grab some boost. This is a good turn. Your teammate is double committed there in that instance. I was just seeing what you do, chasing in front of you. That's fine. Way to react. You were there if you were needed. If not, it's totally fine. That's just a misread. That's unlucky. Just playing more free play, playing the game more overall, you'll read those a little bit more. You have so much time here. Good control. I like this flick as well, and then that's just a whiff. So you've done well to beat them there. It took a little while to get the ball under control here, but I mean it works. You got the first flick. You couldn't really do a whole lot there. It results in a goal. That's well done. It's a good kickoff. I like how you conserve the boost on the kickoff there. If you try to flip and hit the middle of the ball as well, because I believe you hit the bottom of the ball here. That's just something to be aware of on kickoffs. Your kickoff here, you jump, then you flip a little bit early, and you're hitting the ball a little bit more on the bottom, which means that it's going to be going up over you when he hits it second. Again, this works out fine, but you will actually be winning this kickoff if you've saved your flip a little bit longer, just that split second longer, and you jump, you wait, flip right now, just that little bit later, then you're going to be hitting the ball with your nose on the top of hitting the ball with the nose of your car right on the top of the ball. You don't want to hit it all the way on the top, because then your car will just go flying and they'll hit it above you. But if you're able to hit the ball right about here instead of down here, then you're going to be getting a lot better of a 50, and basically they're going to be on the bottom, you're going to be on the top, but closer to the center than they are, and the ball will just get overpowered past them. It's all about just delaying that flip just a little bit more. Oh my goodness. Alright. So you grab the boost. Good patience, you fake him. I take control of it, that works out fine. This is a good hit up the wall. Nice. Yeah, that's a good play. It was just a good pass infield, worked out fine. There you go. That's well done. Good positioning. So you gotta trust your teammate here. This is the issue. If you take a look at this, you see me flip, you know that I'm going for that cornerback boost. You can already, right now, if I'm you, I would assume I've just picked up the boost right now, and I'm about to head towards goal. That's just me from personal experience. I am actually way past that, because I haven't actually picked up oh, I didn't realize that you took the boost. Alright. I forgot you took the corner boost. I couldn't see that on the replay. So either way, you see me flipping over here, you have to assume that I'm going to be behind you. I've picked up the pads following the boost lane, and now you are all set. I'm basically right in your space. The thing to know about twos rotations is that every player has a little bubble of like where they can hit the ball, and based off of your rank, that bubble increases. This is something that Vert has touched on quite a bit, and it's something that I actually talked about in my dissertation video as well. And in this case, if you are right here, the bubble where you can hit the ball is going to be something like a little bit behind you, and then all of this. The bubble where I can hit the ball is going to be a little bit behind me, and then all of this. And you are in that zone. Those zones overlap quite a bit. I can hit a lot of what you can hit here, which means that in order to maximize this, you have to trust that I am capable of hitting those, and you have to be up here to maximize that. So I can hit up to here, and then you are positioned way over here, and you can hit everything around here. So you want to go for the 50 on Not Snaggletooth here, and I'm going to be covering the goal. You just have to trust that I'm behind you, and you know that you can go for this ball because you've seen me flip behind you. You don't have to hesitate here. You can just go all out, try to be first to that ball. If you lose the 50, then I'm there behind you. But you do go a little bit later. It works out. You win the 50. That's a good touch, mid. I missed the second hit, but they've completely missed as well. And there you go, 13 seconds left. Again, that's not a bad kickoff. Go for the ball. Right here, boost over ball is not what you want to be doing. You are first to this ball. What you can do here is you've won the kickoff. Maybe you're wondering if I'm going to be behind you, but regardless of what you can do, I think you take a look to see if I'm there, and that puts you a little bit out of position. But let's see. Ball's going over here. You have a super free second hit. Even if I'm going there, what you can do is you can just go grab this boost and turn right here. And hopefully I'm going to be able to avoid you. Assume that if I'm going for this ball, then most likely I've cheated up here, and then I'll be going right away and I'll actually already challenge the ball or be trying to go in front of you. If I waited a little bit more, then I shouldn't have a problem with going around you. And if I went to this corner boost and I'm going for the ball, then I'm going to be approaching from here. So if you grab the side boost and turn back, then you're going to be fine. But I'm not going here, and you have to assume that that's a possibility as well. So no matter what, you want to grab this boost of 12. Or this small pad. So once you grab that, you just boost into this ball, hit it either this way. This guy is approaching this ball head on and leaving so much room to be beaten. He can cover up to here, like this little area right around him. That's pretty much all that he can get. He can cover right in front of you, but if you're there and you just hit the ball way to the side over here or way to the side over here, then that's a goal because he's last back, he's going forward, and this guy is still flying from kickoff. Unfortunately, none of this happens. You wait a little bit, you don't hit the ball, then you hesitate a little bit more and just go for boost, which leaves me in a one-on-one situation that could easily be a goal. Your positioning here is fine. Then good job looking for the demo, and I get the flick, and that's a goal to finish off the replay. So pretty much overall, what I would recommend you to do in this situation is go to your training packs, and the ones that I would recommend you to work on as well are going to be the one that I already mentioned right here, the ultimate warm-up, because that just really helps you out with a whole bunch of things. There's definitely a few other little, like, smaller training packs that you can, like, look up to help you with awkward reads, and then the main thing that I would say you should really just pay attention to is doing this. You just want to go into free play. You want to put yourself in awkward situations where the ball is bouncing here, and then just try to practice on working on these shots so that you can score those angles pretty consistently. Because if you're able to read these bounces when you have an open net and you're able to score them every time, that wasn't as hard of one, but if you're able to score those awkward bounces every time, then that puts you in a much better position to be scoring that. So yeah, I guess that is the first replay analysis that I've done. To who this is for, who chose to remain anonymous, I hope that you found this to be helpful. And if you have interest in this, then sign up for coaching at Youre Throwing. We're going to be working on a way to maybe specifically see if you can get like a video analysis as well, but all of the coaches at Youre Throwing are great. Actually, a lot of them are even better than me, or a lot better than me in some cases, because they just have a lot more experience in our higher rank. But we all, I think, do a great job, and it is completely free. So yeah, I hope that you found this video helpful, and I will see all of you in the next video. Peace.